Yeah, hello Prashant. Hello trainer.
Yeah, hi team. So I think we can go and start the session. Meantime, if others are available, they can join the session. Let me share my screen. So meantime, if anyone has any question from the previous session, let me know. We can go and look into those also. Hi team, I'm audible, right? Can anyone please confirm that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So in the last session, right, what we have done, right? Let me search it. So we have looked into this one, right? Notification. We have started the schedule integration, and then we have looked into the notification, right? Now what we do, right? We will do today that, okay, how we can go and define, right? So yesterday when we are running these one, right? How we are running? We are running manually, right? We are coming here and then we are clicking into the run button, right? And then we are running the ad hoc, right? But that is not the main purpose of the schedule integration, right? Integration. So this is the ad hoc run, right? If you see, right, request type ad hoc request, right? So it means whatever the time slots we have defined, right? In addition to that one, right, if it is required to do, right, so that time we can go and run this one, right, ad hoc request, right? But when it is a what is a defined way, right? So how we can go and define that one, right? Schedule. So let me just do this one. So we have defined these schedule integrations yesterday, right? So like this is the one, then this is the one, right? So now if you say it, how we can go and define the schedule for this one? So we can go to the actions. So there are two ways, right? One is like we can go and do this manually, right? Add schedule. One is like suppose while activating also, right? We can go and do. Let me go and deactivate this one. If you see, right, when we do the activate, right? So that time, right, we can go and do, right? So here that option is there, right? Edit, add and schedule, right? So it means like we can go and do the schedule while activating only, right? So suppose if we not select this one, right, what will happen, right? It will go and activate, right? Normally, like how it is activating, correct? If you say this is got activated but without schedule. Now what will happen, right, if you click into that button, right? So this is the first way we can go and while activation, right, we can say add and edit schedule and then we can do activate. So this time when we press that activate, right, what will happen, right? It will come to the schedule page, right? And this is our schedule page. Here from here, right, we can go and define, right? So we have like define recurrence, right? So we have like we can like when we go and run, right? Then here we have the frequency. So all these things we will discuss. Now what we do, right? This is our schedule, right? So here we can go and define that logic when we need to run, right? Only once, only twice, right? Whenever we need, right? We can go and put this one, right? Like hours and all, right? So for example, right, I will put as of now only once and I can say save. So if you said it will say that, okay, only one frequency, right? So this time, right? So this time is that old time, right? Currently it is 8:12, right? And we are giving the 8:11, right? So what we do, right? We can go and change this time, modify start date. And what we do, right? Instead of this one, right? We can put 8:15 and done, right? So this time, right, will not get any error. We can do the save, right? So our schedule was saved successfully, right? Now we can come back and this is our schedule, right? So we can start the schedule, right? So schedule start. So this is schedule is going to be start, right? So we can say start and it got start, right? So what will happen, right? This will go and run one time, right? So this is what we have, right? The schedule integration, right? So as of now, right, this is the way we can go and put the schedule, right? So this is the one way of putting the schedule, right? Like while activating. So if you see this got activated also, and if I will come to this button, right, it will not give that add schedule button. What it will give, right? It will give the schedule only, right? So that is how we can go and do, right? Now what I will do, I will go and delete this one. So stop, confirm. So this is how, right, the running we can go and stop. And then if we wanted to delete, right, so we can stop and then we can go and delete the schedule, right? So we have deleted the schedule, right? Now for this one, right, there is no schedule. if I will come back to again to this one, right? What will happen now? The add schedule button will come, right? So one way we have already seen while activating we can do, right? Now what we'll do, right? We'll go and see the second way. Like we can come here. Suppose while activating, right, we have not selected that option, right? Then how we can go and do, right? So we can come here and we can do the add schedule. So if you see, right, this button also, right, will come to the same page, right? If you see add schedule, right, we can go and click into the save. So it got saved. This time it got saved. Why? Because here time 814 and 814, right, both are same, right? So because of that one, right, it is not giving that error. If suppose I will go for 815, right, and then I will save, right, then what will happen? I will get that error, right? So we can come back, right? So this is in the stop state, right? Now we can go and do the start and we can go and run, right? So we can do the start schedule like this one, right? So if you see now 8:15 happened, right? And the time was 8:14, right? So now we will get that error again, right? But this is how we can go and define the schedule, right? So this is a one way, like this is are the two ways to create a schedule, right? So we know, right, how we can go and create a schedule, right? Now what all things are there into the schedule, right? So now we can, and in future, right, if you wanted to modify, right, suppose I already created, right, and we know, right, the time was wrong or something, right? Now we need to change the frequency and all, right? So we can come back here and we can say schedule, right? So we can come here, we can do all those activities, right? We can edit, we can schedule, and we can stop anything, whichever things we need to do, right? We can go and do all those things from here. So what will happen, right, when the schedule will not be there, right? So that time add schedule button will come, and once we have the add schedule button, once we have the schedule, right, then what will happen? The add schedule will not come, only schedule will come, right? Now what all things are there, right? So this is the first page, right? From here we can go and monitor the schedule, right? So it will give the schedule name, that okay, what is the name of the schedule. Here what all things we can do, right? We can start, stop, pause, all those things. Then based on the frequency, right, this is the window, right? Here it will go and show all the future runs, right? Now what we do, right, we can go and edit this one. Then this is the place, right, where we will define the logic, right? That okay, when we wanted to schedule, right, what is the logic, right? When all thing, which all times we need to run this one, right? So in the frequency, if you see, right, so there are two different types of ways we have, right? Simple and ICAL expression, right? So what is this into this one, right? So in the simple, right, what will happen, right? You can go and define, you don't need to write any logic and all, right? Based on the drop downs and all, right, you can go and define your logic. If you see, right, in the whole lifetime, right, if you just wanted to run once, right, this one. So what we'll do, right, you can use only once. And then right here, this schedule runs, right? So here you can go and specify the time, right, when it needs to run, right? So you can click into modify start date. And what will happen, right? You can go and put any date, anything, right, from this calendar. That okay, on this date we wanted to put, right, at this particular time, right? So we can select the time, right? For example, right, I wanted to run on 30th, right? Then at what time, right? So we can click into the time. So time screen will come, right? So here we can go and put that from the scroll down, that okay, what time we need to put, right? So suppose 8:25, right? We can say done, right? Now what will happen? The schedule runs in this one, right? Now whatever the time you have given, right? So this time is as per which time zone, right? So the time zone also you can go and select that, okay, as per this time zone, this is the time, right? Because this time is going to be different in all the time zone, right? So for example, right, in India, right, 8:25, right, it's the morning, right? Maybe like in some other country, right, if you, I will change the time zone, right? So that will have the different time, right? So based on that one, right, we can go and do, right? So this is the only one frequency, right? Now in this one, right, suppose there is a requirement, right, that okay, we need to run hours and minutes, right? So what we do, right, we can come here, and what we do, right, if you see hours and minutes, right, so this will say that okay, when we need to run, right? So suppose something we need to run every 2 hours, right? So what we do, right, if you read, right, every 2 hours and this minute, right? If you suppose you wanted to run every 2 hour 30 minutes, right? So we can say every 2 hour 30 minute, right? Every 1 hour, so we can say every 1 hour 30 minutes, right? Then this is like from when it will start, right? So this like it will run every 1 hour 30 minutes, right? But from what time it will start, right? So first option is like when schedule starts, right? This is the option. Otherwise, if you wanted to specify right from that time, right? Suppose we wanted to start from 8:30, right? So we can go and specify that time 8:30. Otherwise, what will happen, right? Whenever we start right from that one, right, it will take every 1:30 hour. Then from then up to right till what time we need to run, right? So that also end time also we can go and specify. So if we run right repeatedly, right? So what we do, right? This is the option. But if we wanted to put a specific time, right? That okay for only this month it needs to run, right? So we can go and specify the date, right? So for example, right, I will run this one and I will say save, right? Got saved this one. Now I can come back. So if you see, right, this is still in the stop state. So stop state, it means like we have defined, but it will not trigger, right? It will not start, right? Once we put the start, right, our integrations will not start until unless it is in the stop state, right? And all this edit and all those things, right, we can do only into the stop state. So what we do right now, we can say start this one, right? And we can say confirm. We can say that, okay, start schedule. So if you see right here, right, we have start. If you see, it is showing in the running state, right? What it means like, it means like our integration is in the running state now, right? And if you see right, next 24 hours, right? These are the future runs, right? So we have started now, right? So after 130 hours, right? After 130, right? So currently it is 8:20, right? So after 130, what will be, right? 9:50. After 9:50, 11:20. After 11:20, 12:50, right? So there is a gap of 130 time, right? 1 hour 30 minutes. So this will go and run, right? Now suppose if you go and see, right, you can click into here and you can go to the monitoring page, right? Track instances. So we can go to the track instances, and if you see, right, it will say that, okay, if you see, it is in the queue, right? When it will run, right, it will run scheduled, right? If you see, right, schedule time, right, it is scheduled for today 8:30, right? So this will start at 9:50, right? And if you see, right, this is already in the queue, right? So when it is a schedule, right, what will happen, right? Whichever the next run will be there, right? So that is going to be automatically in the queue, right? We can go and abort also. Suppose we don't want to run this flow, right? So we can go and do the abort. So what will happen, right? Then this activity, right? This whatever it is scheduled, right? So that will not go and run, right? So that is what. Now what will happen, right? Whenever the time will happen, right? 9:30, right? So that time, right? Automatically it will go and run. So let me come back to the monitoring page, schedule page. We can go to the schedule. Now, right, this is the flow, right, what we have. Suppose this is a bigger window, right? We wanted to give some specific time, right? Like, so that, okay, we can see how it will go and run, right? So we can do the stop. So if you see, right, if I wanted to modify, right, I cannot go and modify, right? Why? Because it is in the running state, right? So in the running state, right, we cannot go and do. What only we can do, right, is like we can do the pause only, right? So we can do the pause. So once we do the pause, right, what will happen, right? Whatever the time slots we have, right? So those are not going to run, right? Because it is in the pause state. If I will come to the track instances right now, see, it will go and show the status as paused, right? It means like it will not go and run. If that 9:50 will happen, right? Then also it will not go and run, right? Because it is in the pause state. Right? Now we wanted to modify, right? So how we can go and modify it? We need to stop that one, right? So we can go and do the stop first. So this got stopped. Now what we do, right? We can go and modify this one, right? So we can say edit. And what I will do, right? I will go and specify this as a every. I will say only once I want it to run. and I will go and specify the time, right? So for example, right, I will specify the time as 8:25, right? So that, okay, we can see how it will go and do, right? So I have specified the 8:25 time. I can do the save, right? I can come back here and I will do the start and start schedule, right? Now let me just go to the track instances and let me see what will happen, right? So if you see, right, it is showing in the queue, right? We can just go and refresh. So if you see, right, it is showing in the queue, right? Now what will happen, right? Once this 8:25 will happen, right? What will happen, right? This will go and automatically start, right? So we'll just go and refresh. If you see 8:24, so 48, right? Still, if you see, right, it is in the queue only, right? Once it will reach 8:25, right? What will happen, right? It will already show in the running and completed. Just see here. So if you see, right, it is automatically got changed to the succeeded, right? It means like it got started and it got completed, right? We have not done anything, right? So once that time reach, right, what will happen, right? The schedule integration, right, is going to start, right? So this is the one way, right, we can go and do, right? Now what we'll do right here, next one is like, suppose we can go and modify the time again, right? Once this run, right, what will happen, right? The next run, it will go into the queue. So here we have given, right, that, okay, like a specific time we have given, right? So what is happening, right? It is only running once, right? But suppose if this got completed, if we have multiple things, right, then what will happen, right? The next will come into the queue, right? So let me just come back here again. So meantime we can discuss, because next run we can schedule at 8:30 only with the help of simple, because in the simple, right, we don't have those things that, okay, we can go and specify any time, right? Now in this one, right, what will happen, right? Meantime we can discuss, right, every hour, right? Now what we do, right, suppose we have to run every 30 minutes, right? So we can go and specify every 30 minutes, right? So that time, right, what we'll do, right, we'll put this as a 0, right? 0 hours 30 minutes. So what will happen, right? This will run every 30 minutes, right? If you see, we can go and save. So every 30 minutes we can go and run, right? Now can we run every 10 minutes? Let us go and see. So we can say save. Yes, we can go and run every 10 minutes else, right? What is the minimum, right, we can go and put here, right? Let us go and put 5 minutes, because 10 it is working, right? So now let us go and do the 5 and we can do save. So if you see, right, we start getting error, right? So it means like with the help of this simple, right, we cannot go beyond 10 minutes. If you see, less than 10 does not allow, right? It means like minimum 10 minutes we have to give, right? So that is what we have, right? So with the help of simple, right, there are some limitations. So those limitations, right, we can go and complete with the help of iCal expression, right? So in this one, right, if you see, right, one is this specific limit, right, that, okay, we cannot go less than 10 minutes, right? Next is like, suppose if you wanted to start now, right, when modify start, right? So for example, right, you can say that, okay, I wanted to run start from today, but I wanted to start from 8:29, right? So now if you see, right, the time, right, what will happen, right? The time, right, it will come into the 5 minutes gap only, right? And in between, right, we cannot go and put here, right? So that is like again one more limitation, right? That, okay, we cannot go, right? Either we have to go to 8:25 or 30 we have to go, right? We cannot go with 29, right? So we can say done, right? So that, okay, we are told this one, right? We can say this as every 10 minutes, right? Then as I told, right, that, okay, we need to run specify right here, like how from when it will go and start, right? So if you don't put this one, right, what will happen, right? This keeps repeating indefinitely, right? But if you wanted to put something, right, that, okay, you wanted to run for a specific period only, right? So here we can go and specify the end time also, right? For example, today we wanted to run for only 1 hour, right? So up to 9:30 only we wanted to run, right? So you can go and put any time. So we told only 1 hour we wanted to run, right? Now we can go and do the save. So we told every 10 minutes, this is the start time, this is the end time, right? So based on your requirement, right, you can go and specify which all times you need to run, right? So let me go and run this one and start schedule. So if you see, right, we have specified, right? Now if you see, right, it is showing only 7 occurrences, right? If you see in the next 24 hours, right, it will show only 7 occurrences, right? Why? Because we have put the start time and end time, right? Now what will happen, right? This will go and run into this particular only, right? Now let us go into the track instances. We'll see how it will behave. So if you see, right, this is already in the queue, right? And once this will complete, right, next will come into the queue, right? So we have specified for 8:30, right? So just see. So it is in the queue, right? So until unless the time will not reach, right, it will show in the queue only. And once we reach to that time, right, what will happen, right? It will go and show that, okay, this got completed, and the next one, right, it will come into the queue. So 15 more seconds we can do. And then, right, if you see, right, whichever, like, suppose if I will go and now stop this one, right, from the schedule, right, what will happen? Then this one, right, it will go into the aborted state, right? Because this is already in the queue, right? And somebody has stopped, right? And in this one, if you say, it will show when we submitted and what was the schedule time, right? So if you see, right, this got completed, right? If you see, submitted, right? Now two are in the queue, right? So it is specific time. So this one, it will show as a submitted, if you see now, right? So if you see, right, this one it will show into the succeeded, right? So this got completed, and the next one, right, it is in the queue, right? So if you see schedule for the next 10 minutes. So this is how we can go and see that, okay, what is the flow and how we can go and do the integrations, right? So we know, right, now once this completed, what will happen, right? The next will go into the schedule and this will go and completed. Once that is right, so this is how, right, automatically, right, whatever the time we have specified, right? So based on that future runs, right, once the time happen, right, it will go and automatically start, right? So we can go and deactivate again. Okay, no. So one more thing, right, if you see, right, now our integration is in the schedule is in the running state, right? So now we cannot go and modify the code, right? We cannot go and do the deactivate directly, right? If you see, fail to deactivate cannot be deleted since the schedule is not stopped, right? So if you wanted to make any code changes, right, into this one, right, how we can do it? First we need to go and stop that one, and then only we can go and modify the logic, right? Because it is already in the running mode, right? So we cannot go and modify the logic behind, because this is the schedule thing, right? So if you say it here, now 6 future runs are one, right? So one is already completed. Next it will go and do the 9 minutes, 19 minutes, 29 minutes, right? So like this one, right, it will go and explain, do the, right? Now we can go and do the stop, and we can go come to the edit again. Right? So we have specified this one, right? So like this one, right, we can define hours and minutes, right? Same way, right? Suppose if you wanted to run, right, every 1 day, right, kind of thing, right? So that time, right, we can go and specify. Now if you see, right, in this one, right, both the things are there, right? Can we go and run both, right? So let me go and put this as a default thing, that always, and this I will put when schedule start, right? So I will not get that issues that, okay, past time and all, right? Now if I will go and save, right, if you see, you will get that error, right? So it means like combination we cannot go and use, right? Like this combination and this combination together we cannot go and use, right? So it means like we can go and run only once, right? Like out of these frequencies, right, we can go and use only one frequency at a time, right? It's not like we can go and use hours and minutes also, days also, weeks also, and all. So it means combination we cannot go and use, right? So this is the next limitation with the help of simple recurrence, right? That, okay, only one frequency we can go and define, right? So suppose what will happen, right? Like suppose every 1 day, right, at a particular time you want it to run, right? So those things you cannot go and specify, right? Because there's a possibility, right, that somebody will say that, okay, I need to run this every day, 6 hours or something, right? So based on that one, right, you cannot go and put right here. Or for example, right, okay, you can say every 1 day, right? So we can specify with the help of this only, right, 6 hours, right? But if suppose every 2 days we want it to run, right? Every 2 days, 6 hours gap, right? So that time, right, we cannot go and achieve, right? So it means the combination, right, we cannot go and achieve here. We have to delete one, and then only we can go and do, right? So if you see, save. So now this is like what we have, right, every day, right? So what will happen, right? This will run once in a day, or if you can increase, right, twice a day, thrice a day, right? So based on that one, right, you can go and define, right, that, okay, how many times, right, it will go and run, right? So if you use every 2 days, right, what will happen, right? It will run today, and then it will skip tomorrow, and it will run day after tomorrow, right? So like that one we can go and specify. Same thing with the weeks, right? So if you see, right, combination will come. If you try to save, right, you will get that error that okay, combination you cannot do, right? So one you have to go and delete, right? So now this is right in the generation 2, right? This combination was supported. So because of that one, right, it was coming here, right? But in the generation 3, right, they have removed this combination because of the issues, right? Because of the too many issues used to come here, right? In the simple. So because of that one, right, they have removed. Now, if you see week, right? So you can go and specify, right? Weekly you wanted to run, like suppose on you wanted to run weekly once in a day, right? Every week, right? Or suppose twice a week, right? Or thrice a week, right? You wanted to run, right? Like suppose every 2 weeks you wanted to run, right? So today you run, then next week you skip, and day of like again the week will come after that one, right? So in that one you wanted to schedule, right? So for that one you can go and specify, right? Same way, right? We have the month, right? So these are the simple things, right? We have, right? So we can go and specify like every 2 months, every 3 months, right? Whichever logic, right? So if it is a simple thing, right? We can go and define this one. If we are not able to achieve with the help of simple, right? What we do, right? We can go to the next, which is the ICAL expression. So if you see, right, what will happen, right? Only this part will go and change. This part will be same, right? If you see in the ICAL, right? If you see from when it will go and start until when and then time zone, right? So this is going to be same, right? Only the expression part is going to be changed. So what will happen, right? Here we are selecting the frequency and everything from the drop down, right? And but what we do, right, here we can go and write that ICAL expression, right? So with the help of that expression, right, it will go and give that one, right? Now what is that ICAL expression, right? How we can do, right? So you can just go and get from the official website the ICAL expression. So you can say ICAL expression in OIC, and you can go to the first, which is the official documentation. So this is a generation 2. You can go to the latest, right? So this is in the generation 3, right? If you see, this is the ICAL expression, right? So this is how you can go and specify the ICAL expression, right? So let me just copy this one. Right? So this is a condition we have written, right? So we have written the frequency monthly by month date, right? 1 10 15 by hour. So this is the expression, right? What we have, right? Now we can go and validate, right? Whether this expression is correct or not, right? So this expression is correct, right? So what we do, right? With this will go and run, right? For example, right? I can go and change, right? Minute, right? And I will do validate expression. So this will say that okay, expression is invalid, right? So when the expression is invalid, right, I cannot go and save, right? So it means like I need to put the valid expression. So the syntax and all, right? So this is the correct syntax, right? What we have, right? So now what we have defined, right? We have told the frequency, right? It means we wanted to run monthly this one, right? On what dates of that month, right? We wanted to run, right? So 1 10 15, right? We have specified, right? On that particular day, right? On which time, right? Hour, right? 5 10 15 20 minute, right? By what minute, right? So we have specified this one, right? So now let us go and save and see what will come, right, for this one. So expression is valid. We can come back and we can go and start schedule. So there is nothing it is showing. So what we do, right? We can go and change the window, and we can say for next 6 months, right? We wanted to see. So if you see, right, what will happen, right? It will go and run on April 10th, right? So why April 10th? If I will copy this one, right, and put into the notepad, right? So why, right? If you see, it will run every monthly, right? Then on which dates we have specified? 1 10 15, right? So if you see, right, what it is coming here, right? It is coming 10th of April. After it is coming 15th of April. Then it is coming on the May 1st, right? After May 1st, it is again going to the May 10th. After May 10th, it is going to the May 15th, right? After May 15, it will go to the June 1st, right? So we've specified right here, like on which particular dates it needs to run. On those dates, right, by R also we have specified 5, 10, 15, 20, right? So if you go and see, right, it will run 5, 10, then 3, right? So it is in the PM, right? So 2 plus 3, 15, right? Then 3 plus 5 hours, right? 18. So it is specified, right? It will run 4 times in a day, right? At what particular minute it will run? We have specified by minute 15, right? So if you see, right, by writing this logic, right, we have reached to specific time also, right? We have put all the conditions, right? That okay, on which date, which all, right, we can go and do, right? So with the help of simple, right, we cannot go and achieve this one, right? So when you wanted to write the complex logic, right? So what we do, right, with the help of this ICAL expression, right, we can go and write the complex logic, right? Now what we'll do, right, if you go to the next expression, right? So next expression is this one, right? So for example, right, I will go and put here one by one only, right? So I will go and take this expression first, right? So if you see in this one, right, what we are doing, right? Frequency we are putting daily, right? So here it was a monthly, right? Now we are putting the frequency daily. So when we put the daily, right, what will happen, right? This condition, right, will not come. So by month day, right, will come only when we use the monthly, right? When we use daily frequency, right? So we don't have to specify this one, right? On which dates and all, right? So that time, right, this will not come. So what will come, right? Then next will come by hour and by minute and by second, right? So this is what we can go and specify it. So for example, I will come this one and I will go and put this condition and we'll say what time it will come, right? So we can say stop. Edit. Right? So this is what we have done. We can go and do the save. So when we do save, right? So that time it will go and do the validation also, right? So either you can do validate explicitly or once you do save, right? So that time also, right? It will go and validate. For example, right? I will write second, right? And I will do the save, right? So it will throw error here also that okay, expression is not valid, right? We can do save. We can do the start and confirm and start schedule. So if you see, right, what is happening, right? We have specified what is the condition we have specified. We told frequency daily, right? By R, right, what we have specified 17, right? It means it is the 24-hour window, right? So it means like 5 p.m., right? Then minute we have told, right? 5:30, 5:40, 5:50, right? So if you see 5:30, 5:40, 5:50, right? So today it will run 3 times. Tomorrow it will run again these 3 times, right? Day after tomorrow, right? Again it will run 3 times, right? So we have specified this one, right? Now in this only, right, I will do, right? So now we know, right, we are running the into the interval of 10 minutes, right? So with the help of simple, right, we are not able to go beyond 10 minutes, right? Can we go here? So let me go and put here 35 also, right? 40, 45. So we are put like every 5 minutes, right? Now let us go and run and we can see, right, can we go and do this also, right? Stop. Edit. If I will go and put this expression, right? Save. So if you say it is not throwing me any error, right? That okay, we cannot go less than 5 minutes. Okay, let us come back here and we can do the start and start schedule. So if you see right here, it will run 5:30, 5:35, 5:40, 5:45, 5:50, right? It means we can go and write the logic less than 5 minutes also, right? So with the help of simple, right, we are not able to achieve this one, right? So, but here, right, we can go and achieve this one, right? So this is what we can go and do, right? So it means like one issue, the limitation which we have in the simple, right? So we are able to achieve that one, right? That okay, we cannot go less than 10 minutes, right? So one limitation was over. Second limitation was there, we cannot go and use the multiple, right? Or more than one condition, right? So here in the ICAL expression, we can go and run multiple condition, right? So suppose if we do in the simple, right? If we go and specify hourly also, right? Or simple only once also, right? For example, right? I will go edit. If suppose I will go to the simple, right? So if I will put hours and minute also, right? So we cannot say that, okay, on which hour at what particular time, right? We can just go and give that, okay, we can go and run at this time. We can go and run at this time, right? Only that much we can go and do, right? But next, right, we cannot go and do, right? But what we can do, right? Here we are able to do, right? In the simple. So what will happen, right? We can go and write one more expression by using ampersand, right? So if you see, right, this is now another condition, right? So what this will do, right? This is also run daily, and when it will run 18, right? It means 6 p.m. and 0 and 2, right? So this is what we are, right? So let us go and put this one more condition. We can write, and we only the thing which we have to keep in mind that, okay, ampersand should be there, right? If suppose ampersand will not be there, right, and we do validate expression, it will give that error, right? Why? Because there is no limit, right? So we need to give here ampersand. Now if I will do the valid expression, right? So this is a valid expression. Now I can go and run. So it got saved. Now we can come back again and we can do the start and start schedule. So if you see, right, it will run every 5 minutes in the 5 window, 5:50, then it will run at 6 also, right? So 6:10, 6:15, 6:20, 6:30, right? 40. So it will go and run, right, every 10 minutes, right? Then it will go and start, right? Now what we are able to do, right? We are able to write two conditions, right? In 5 we have specified at what particular times, and 6, right, we have specified what particular times, right? So we are able to write the particular times, right, which we are not able to achieve in the case of simple expression, right? But here we can go and write, right? Now what will happen the next one, right? Can we go and add this logic, right? Right? So second limitation also, right, we can go and write multiple, right? But one more limitation was there in the simple that, okay, we cannot go and use different frequencies, right? Now let us go and see, like, we can go and use this frequency or not, right? So we can go and do the stop. Edit. So we just need to use the ampersand here, right? And what I will do, right, I will go and specify this date with 3rd of April. And I will go and remove this one. That, okay, in the morning also only I want it to run, right? And I will put 3rd and 5th, right? So on 3rd, 5th, 10 and 15, right? Because today is 2nd April, right? So we can go and see that easily, right? That, okay, whether it get run or not, right? So first we can do the validate expression. So if you see expression is valid, right? We can go and save. Now let us come back and see. We can do the start and start schedule. So if you see, right, what will happen right here? Today it will run at these times, right? Every 5 minutes in the 5 window. And in 6, right, it will run every 10 minutes, right? And for tomorrow, right, if you see, right, it got scheduled for morning also, right? If you see, right, we have specified in the afternoon only, right? Because what condition we have given, right? We have given this condition, right? So both the times are in the afternoon only, right? But this time was in the morning, right? So if you see, right, tomorrow, right, tomorrow it will run at 5:15, 10:15, 5:30, 5:35, right? So only two times we have specified, right? 5:15 and 10:15, right? So in the morning it will run only for tomorrow, right? Then if you see, same sequentially it is coming. Then if you see, right, day after tomorrow, right, it will not run, right? If you see, on Friday, right, it is not running in the Monday, right? Because we have given the date, right? That, okay, 3rd and 5th, right? So it is a 4th, right? If you see, right? So on the 4th, right, it will not run. Now if you go come back after Friday, right? If you see on Saturday, right, it will run, right? It will run on the Saturday in the morning also, right? Then if you see, right, on Sunday, right, it will not run on the Monday morning, right? PM only it is happening, right? Then what is the next date we are giving, right? If you see, right, then Monday also it will not run, right? So next date which we have given is the 10th, right? So what will happen, right? It will up to 10th, right? It will not go and run, right? So it will go on the 10th only, and then only it will go and run, right? So 9th also it is not running. Now if you see, right, once that 10th will come, right? So if you see on the 10th, right, in the morning it is running, right? Then it will go to the directly to the 15th, and on 15th, right, it will go and run in the morning. So if you see in the 14th also in the morning, right, there is no run. But if you come to the 15th, right, so in the 15th, if you see, right, in the morning, right, it get run, right? So it means like multiple frequencies, right? As well we can go and put logic, right? So that is the power of the ICAL expression, right? So in the ICAL expression, right, it is like everything is in your control. Whatever the logic, whatever the time, right, you will do. Only one condition that okay, ICAL expression should be valid. Then rest all things, right, you can go and put any logic, any condition, anytime, right? So that is what we have the ICAL expression, right? So you can go and enter multiple conditions and all those things we can go and achieve with the help of ICAL expression. So this is what we have, like we can go and define the schedule. And now suppose we got this one, right, time. Now suppose due to some reason, right, we need to pause for some period, right? So we can go and pause. So once we pause, right, what will happen, right? If we don't run up to that time, right, what will happen, right? That flow will go into the aborted state. So for example, right, it is 8:50, right? So I will schedule for 8:52 and I will go and pause that time, right? We'll see what will happen, right? So I will come here, edit. I can go and put one more condition. Daily time is like 8 minute is like 52 or 53 I will put, right? So I will say that 8:53 it needs to run, right? Valid expression. I can go and do the save. Now I can come back here and I will go and do the start and start schedule. So if you say this will go and run in a minute, right? If I will go and do the track instances, right? So what will happen, right? It is showing in the in a queue, right? That okay, in a minute, right? It will go and run, right? Now what I will do, right? I will go and pause our integration, right? And I will start after the time goes, right? What will happen, right? So we can come to the schedule. And I will do the pause, right? So it is in the pause state. Now I can come here, right? So suppose in case if I wanted to skip something, right? So what I do, right? We can go and skip, right? Now what we do, right? We can say track instances. So it is in the pause, right? So 8:52, right? Now we will see that, okay, once the time goes, right? After that one, right? We'll go and start this one and we'll say, right, what is the change it will come. So this is in the pause. It was supposed to run, right? 8:53, right? But it will not run now, right? Because it is in the pause state, right? And what I will do, right, I can copy this one so that okay, we can go and check for this instance ID. So 8:53 happen. Let us go for 30 seconds more and then we'll go and do the right. Now let us go and we'll start the schedule again, right? Schedule. So it was in the pause, right? What we do, right? We can do the resume, right? So if you see, right, it got skipped, right? It is showing 8:50, like 5:30 it is showing, right? Now go to the track instances. So if you see it, after that time, right, came, right, it will go and start, right? If you see, it got picked that time, right? Succeeded, right? So I think because of the time, right, like we are into the same time, it got picked. Otherwise, sometimes, right, it will not go and pick. So we can go and see that one, right? Like this is how we can go and do. Now suppose if you see, right, this was supposed to run at 5:30, right? Can we go and run this one right now, right? This was supposed to run at 5:30, right? Can we go and run this now? Let us see, right? So with the help of ad hoc, right, we can go and run this in the before time also. So we can come here, and when we do run, right? So if you see it, one is the ad hoc request, right? So this ad hoc request here means this is independent of the schedule run. So this is like additional only. This is not part of the schedule. But if you wanted to run the schedule, right? So you can say as part of the schedule, right? Right? So what will happen, right? We can go and run as part of the schedule runs, and we can say run. So we have completed this one, right? So we have run. Now let us go back, let it complete. So this got completed, right? Now we can go and see the track instances. And if you see it, okay, I think it is behaving weirdly. So we have run this one as part of schedule, but it is still there. Okay, I think in the generation 3 it got changed. So in the generation 2, right, what it was, right? If you run as part of schedule, right, then what will happen, right? This will not come, right? It will say that, okay, this was a run. Let me just try one more time. Okay, put the schedule. Okay, I think here it is not giving that option that, okay, which schedule. Earlier it was giving that run. So runs in a sequence of scheduled runs. Okay, not an issue, right? So this is all about the schedule, right? How we can go and create the schedule. What are the different ways we can go and configure. So if anyone has any question into the schedule, we can go and take those questions. So with this one, right, we have covered the schedule part also, right? How we can go and do the schedule. So we have seen yesterday how we can create a schedule type integration, and today we have seen how we can go and define that schedule. Rest all logic, right, in the integration, whatever we are able to achieve in the app driven, right, same logic we can go and write into the schedule also. So any questions, anyone? Okay, so if no question, then I think we can go and wrap up the session today here only.
Okay. And yeah, Prashant, actually,
Yeah,
means this is today my first live lecture. Previously, I haven't attended, but I have
okay,
seen the recordings also. And
okay,
some things are actually those were not understandable. So, is it
okay,
that later on can I ask you questions about that? Because I missed those lectures. So from today, I'm continuing the same
okay,
thing.
okay, sure. You can
Yeah.
ask me questions like whenever. So like in the tomorrow, right? Like in the beginning, right? We will give 5-10 minutes every day so that, okay,
Yeah.
everyone will come. So that time, right, you can ask your questions.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.